Hi, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Kaplan here, just with a quick update on the latest with Tropical Storm Harold. Just made landfall within the last hour on Padre Island. So again, South Texas, that was always going to be the point of landfall, and that is what has happened so far this morning. It is a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm, having very little impacts for us here at home. What we can expect to see here in Southeast Texas through the rest of the day is going to be rough surf at the beaches. Small craft advisory in effect, so boaters today is just really not the day to be out on the water. Also, it'll turn breezy at times, especially the farther south and west you go from the city, and that's going to help to enhance our fire danger just because of how dry everything is. Anytime you get a strong wind with brush this dry, it does not take much to help fire spread and develop through the area. Let's talk about the latest on Harold before we dive into that. 10 a.m. advisory, again, 50-mile-per-hour storm. This thing is hauling to the west-northwest at about 20 miles per hour. So this thing is going to be in and out of South Texas before sunset. So it's not going to be a big prolific rainmaker, but it is going to bring them a pretty good amount of rainfall over the next, I would say, 4 to 6 hours. You can see the core of the storm there moving on shore, some of the darker and brighter cloud tops there, indicating the most intense part of the storm, passing just to the south of Corpus Christi. And as we switch over to radar, so we were just looking at clouds. This is radar now. Huge slug of rain from Corpus going south. You can see a flash flood warning in effect for Corpus Christi, where they've already gotten several inches of rain. Not a ton of thunder and lightning here. There's the center of circulation, started right there and then moved on shore again right over Padre Island. So in between Brownsville and Corpus Christi is where this thing made landfall, and it's going to continue to move off towards the west here as we go through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. There's a closer look. You can see again lots of heavy rain all across the area. This is much needed rainfall for this part of Texas. Pretty much the entire state needs rain. Unfortunately, we are not going to see much other than just a couple of showers kind of pinwheeling off the Gulf of Mexico down through Galveston. We're seeing some showers right now into Brazoria, Matagorda, Wharton, and even Fort Bend County getting a quick shower. If you see something today, consider yourself lucky. It's going to be the exception, not the rule. I think the chances really drop off as you go north of the city. We could try to get some of this activity into the area. The problem is we've got a lot of dry air that's pushing in and working against these showers. So we're really going to put the squeeze play on these showers coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. So I do think the cutoff for rain will be somewhere along that line. So once you get through Montgomery County, your rain chances are going to drop off fast. I'd say probably about a 10% chance up here and then about a 30% chance in this area. We could see some higher chances through the afternoon, but that's pretty much how it's going to look. So again, from the city and points south, that's the best chance for any showers today. All right, by the time it's all said and done, rain totals do not look impressive. 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch on average from the city south. The big chances, again, down through South Texas, where the core of the storm is, nearly 3 inches of rain out towards the Texas and Mexico border. Wind has really been quite the story, though, through South Texas. A true tropical storm coming on shore here. In the last hour, a 54-mile-per-hour gust in Corpus Christi. Port Aransas at a 38-mile-per-hour gust. Farther up the coast, Palacios coming in with a 23-mile-per-hour gust, same as Port Lavaca. As you go farther down towards Rockport, 36-mile-per-hour gust, about a 30-mile-per-hour gust out towards Seadrift and Ostwell. And then as we get into our area, winds are generally gusting between 10 and 20 miles per hour. So even though we're pretty far removed from this system, we have seen some higher gusts. The reason for that is high pressure, that big heat ridge over the middle of the country is working to squeeze this system. And so in between, which is where we are, you get a little bit of an enhancement for wind speeds. It is that enhancement that's going to bring us a fire danger as we go through the afternoon. As we work into the afternoon and air temperatures climb, the relative humidity values are going to drop. Wherever you see that tan color on the map, that indicates relative humidity values that are low enough to kind of enhance a fire risk. So it's mainly for areas north of the city, and that's going to coincide as well with wind gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour. I do think the higher gusts will stay down towards the coast, but still 20 to 25 mile per hour winds are enough to promote fires spreading, especially when you have that lower relative humidity. So as a result, we've got red flag warnings in effect for Washington, Grimes, Walker, Montgomery, Polk, and San Jacinto counties. Basically, this just means that if a fire were to develop, it could spread quickly and it could also build pretty fast. So just keep that in mind. Take all your fire safety precautions in mind as we go through the rest of the day. Finally, we are tracking a very low-end chance for maybe 1 or 2 brief, weak spin-up tornadoes. That chance is really more pronounced farther south as you get closer to the center of the circulation. But on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst, we're in the lowest category for tornado risk. It's a level 1 out of 5. And it is mainly for Brazoria, Matagorda, and Wharton counties. And again, that's just going to go through the afternoon. But once the showers start to taper off, that threat will taper off as well. So just as a recap, your best chance for rain today from I-10 and points south. We are going to see breezy winds at times that could help to enhance the fire danger. Rip currents are going to be a big concern. Not a good day to be at the beaches. Also, boaters beware, small craft advisory in effect. And finally, we do have that very isolated chance for maybe a water spout moving on shore down through Brazoria, Matagorda County. Again, that's going to be a very isolated chance here through the rest of the afternoon. Coming up at noon, it's me, meteorologist Tim Pandages. We're going to talk more in depth about the storm, the latest on that, what else is going on in the tropics, and the fire danger here at home. And if we could see a break from this heat, all of that and more coming up at KHOU 11 News at noon. We'll hope to see you then.